Hey everybody, Steve Furrow here with the Kingery team at Mountain to Lake Realty, and we're bringing you another adventure in real estate. And yes, today we have Miss Patti Dickerson with Virginia Title Center. Thank you for joining us, Patti.
Thank you, Steve, for having me.
So, as a real estate agent, I'm out here working with clients, buying or selling. And so our big deal is the contract, the purchase agreement. We get that information put together, we get buyer and seller to agree, we'll get it signed, and then one of the things I will do, of course, we'll send that to the lender, but then we will take it then to the title company.
That's right.
I send it to you guys. What happens next?
We do a little celebration dance for the opportunity to work with you again. Our admin team takes all new contracts. They open a file in our system. They order the title search. They assign a settlement processor and a post-closer up front.
So we've got an admin, settlement closer,
settlement processor, and a post-closer.
And a post-closer, okay. So we got
There's one more person that comes in play, though.
Okay.
Once that title search comes back from the examiner, and that's another person that we contract with that gets that search done, gets it back in our office, we save that down, and then we task an underwriter to review the search and create the title commitment.
Okay. All right.
Then once they get that completed, they task the settlement processor to go ahead and get the preliminary closing disclosure put together for the lender. They're ordering the homeowner's insurance, getting payoffs and all that kind of stuff. And they work with the realtor and the clients throughout the process.
Yeah.
Then they coordinate the closing date, get all parties together, coordinate a mobile closer to handle the closing, so that's another person there involved.
We're getting a few people involved in this.
A lot of hands touch it. So yeah, we know the clients are excited about that contract and they want to get to the end of signing and it being theirs, but there's a lot that goes on between us receiving that contract and the actual closing date.
Well, sometimes you just get that contract signed and that closing date, let's just say some 45, 60 days, you might see that. It's interesting, so send it off to Virginia Title Center. Typically I will see and I don't know what the right term is, but there's always usually an email that comes back saying we received it, and then a day or two later it'll say so and so, I'm your settlement processor. Here's things that are going on, and sometimes there may be a little bit of a lag once that email goes out before maybe there's the next interaction. At least from my perspective in talking with some of our buyers or sellers, they'd be like, well, I hadn't heard anything. I said, well, just relax. They got a few things to do behind the scenes on their front before because it can get a little anxious from the time you get that thing signed.
Oh yeah. Till
we get down here to the closing date. Can be a little bit.
Yeah, well, a title search takes up to a week to get back. Underwritten usually within 24 to 48 hours. Communication with the lender, and that's at that point most of the communication is going to be with the lender, unless there's any title issues.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I try to explain to the clients. I'm like, look, they got you. The settlement processor, she said, hey, they confirmed they got everything. Just give them a little bit of time. Let them get their things done on their end. We got plenty of time till we get to the closing date. So it's always worked out. But that's always I guess from my standpoint, I don't see all the behind the scenes things that all these people are doing at Virginia Title Center.
Yeah, and it doesn't really end there at the closing table either.
True.
Those documents all come back to our office. They get in the hands of our post-closer. They take care of getting everything to the lender that's necessary. They do a title update, and that updates from the day that it closes back to when we did the original search to make sure there's nothing that's happened to come on title. And then they submit it to be recorded after they get the funds from the lender. So it goes through that process, and then once we get all the documents back and the recording back, then a final policy is created. So it goes back to the title underwriter again.
It's a lot of steps, which
Very much so, yeah.
when we're talking about purchasing of land or of a home, I mean, it's a big deal. And it's a big deal, and there's a lot of things involved. So certainly understand that. But from my perspective, at times you can take things for granted and saying, what's going on, guys? I hadn't heard anything from you, or whatever.
A lot going on behind the scenes, definitely.
You bet.
And we want to make sure that it's done right.
No, yes. And then you guys do a great job at making
Thank
sure
you.
that
That's our goal, and we try.
that happens. You got a great team, great set of people there at Virginia Title Center. So, I lost count. I think we were somewhere 6 or 7 people.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Well, thanks for the insight here today on kind of what, a little bit of a glimpse into the process that happens once that contract gets ratified, gets signed. We send it over to you guys, kind of what goes on from there. I certainly do appreciate that, Patty.
Yeah, thank you, Steve.
Well, guys, we appreciate you joining us, and I guess until next time, be safe out there, and we'll see you again on another adventure in real estate.